Hi, so this video is for everybody that's working from home at the moment and is finding themselves grazing a little bit more than they would ordinarily because every time they come into the kitchen to make a drink, they grab something from the fridge or the cookie cupboard or whatever it may be as well. So unusual times, I have 3 tips for you. So one is energetic, another is practical, and then the third one is really understanding a little bit about our biology. So the first tip is when you get the feeling or the thought that you want to eat something, ask yourself a question. And the question is, who am I being right now? Because we pick up energies from everybody around us, and sometimes the thought that we're having is actually belonging to somebody else. And there's collective energetic thoughts too. So if you lighten up when you ask the question, it's not yours. So just walk away, distract yourself and do something else, and you may find that you don't even think about food again. You're just picking up the thoughts of maybe somebody else in your house, somebody in your neighbourhood, or just something energetically. So if that works for you, great. If it doesn't, there's a practical idea, which I've been using with a few of my clients, which is to decide what time you're going to eat your meals and put a clock on, an alarm on your clock, and only eat between those times. So if you decide you're having breakfast at 9:30, your lunch at 1 and your evening meal at 6, they're the only times you eat. So all the rest of the day, if your alarm hasn't gone for eating time, you don't eat. Try that, see if that works. And the third one really is a biological is a question of biology. So if you listen to my hydration video, you've heard some of this, but effectively our biological makeup hasn't changed in millions of years. So our ancestors, when they were living on the savannah or in forests foraging, they didn't have a tap, so they didn't have a steady stream of water. So their body would tell them, it would give them a sign that they were hungry. But actually, it was thirst that they were requiring to satisfy, as opposed to hunger. But for them, it was quite clear if they ate fruit or vegetable, they were then getting the liquid that the body required to replenish, to hydrate the cells. We've got a little bit confused somewhere down the line, because when we get that hormonal response, we think that we're hungry, but actually it's just thirst. So when you feel like you need something to eat, go and take a drink and then leave it for about 20 minutes. And if the feeling goes away, it's because it was thirst to quench in the first place and not hunger. And actually it reminds me of a fourth item here. So your body will also tell you that you're hungry if you haven't satisfied one of your nutritional needs. Because you don't know what that nutritional need is, you go and eat something. So say, for instance, you have a nutrient deficiency in magnesium or zinc, you will have cravings. So you may go off and eat carbs. So you can eat all of the bread and pasta and ice cream that you like, because you're feeding something that isn't actually hunger. You're feeding a deficiency. So the only real way to overcome that is to make sure that you cover all your nutritional needs in every day, which means that you need to have an understanding of what they are. So what magnesium does within your body and how much you require and which foods you can obtain that from. Well, I think you'll see a button below. If you click on that button, you'll find the nutrition guide that I've recently written, which will give you all the information you need to make sure that you have all of those covered. And I think you'll find that once you properly fill your body with nutrients, you'll stop craving food. And actually, I'm going to give you a final tip, which is every meal should contain protein and some kind of healthy fat, because they are the 2 things that are satisfying. Carbs, and the majority of the carbs that we eat are refined carbs, which give you a quick high and then a very low crash, which means that we're hungry again. So make sure that you have adequate protein and healthy fats in every meal, and then you're laughing, you're satisfied and full, and you can get on with your day. I hope that's helpful.